So, today we're going to tackle a massive question. How do you power a nation of over 1 billion people, a nation that's growing and developing at an incredible pace without wrecking the planet? Let's jump right in.
And really, this is the heart of the challenge, right? We're talking about 1.4 billion people. This isn't just some academic thought experiment. It's a real-world puzzle of engineering, policy, and human ingenuity. With energy demand just soaring, how do you possibly balance that hunger for progress with the health of our planet? What's the game plan here?
Well, here's the most important thing to understand from the get-go. India's not betting the farm on one single technology. There's no silver bullet. Instead, think of it more like a really smart investment portfolio. It's this multi-dimensional strategy, blending the absolute cutting edge with ideas that are, well, centuries old.
All right, so first up, let's talk about the big guns. We're talking about the titans of green energy, these massive, modern projects designed to harness the raw, untamed power of nature itself.
So, at its core, the whole strategy rests on three, natural powerhouses: the sun, the wind, and water. These are the absolute cornerstones of India's green energy ambitions, but it's how they're being used that's so interesting. Take solar, for instance. It's a fascinating story of two completely different scales. On one side, you've got these colossal solar parks, part of the National Solar Mission, turning huge stretches of desert into power plants for the entire country. But then, at the very same time, there's this quiet revolution happening on individual rooftops and in tiny villages, where a single solar panel can bring light and opportunity to a family for the first time. It's a strategy that empowers the grid and the person at the same time.
Okay, so that's solar. Now let's talk about wind. India is an absolute global powerhouse here. We're talking about massive wind farms, some of the largest on Earth, that are strategically placed to capture the powerful winds along the coasts of states like Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. These incredible turbines are a seriously critical part of the energy mix, pumping a steady flow of clean electricity into the national grid.
And you see that same exact dual-scale thinking with hydropower. Up in the Himalayas, you have these huge dams that provide what's called baseload power. You know, that steady, reliable energy that the grid needs to stay stable 24/7. But then you zoom into smaller communities, and you'll find these brilliant little microhydel systems that just tap into local streams to provide sustainable power for a single village. It's a perfect blend of massive infrastructure and local, community-focused solutions.
Okay, so we've talked about the giants, right? The big, flashy projects. But now, let's shift gears to something a little different. A different kind of power. One that's all about resourcefulness, about turning the stuff we throw away into something incredibly valuable.
And the idea here is, it's as simple as it is powerful. Waste to energy. You're literally creating a closed loop where the things we discard get a second life as a source of power. It's all about completely reimagining what waste even is and unlocking that hidden energy inside.
Now, in rural India, this is a total game changer, mostly through biomass and biogas. The process is pretty straightforward. You collect organic waste, things like leftover crops or cattle dung, process it in a digester, and out comes clean fuel. And the impact? It's huge. It gives families clean gas for cooking, which means they don't have to rely on burning firewood, which is, much worse for their health and the environment.
And in the massive, bustling cities like Delhi and Hyderabad, they're using the exact same principle, just on a much, much bigger scale. You have these huge plants that take in mountains of municipal solid waste. We're talking the everyday garbage from millions of people, and they convert it into electricity. It's this incredible two-for-one deal. You're solving a massive waste management problem while generating clean power for the city.
All right, for our last section, we're going to look at something really cool. Two sides of the innovation coin that seem like total opposites. We're talking about the super futuristic technologies on the horizon and the timeless, sometimes forgotten, wisdom of the past. This is where you really see the depth of the whole strategy. On one side, you have these incredibly ambitious moonshots, like the National Green Hydrogen Mission. The goal here is to use renewable power to create hydrogen fuel, a super clean energy carrier for things like heavy industry and long-haul transport. But then, on the other side, you have this relentless focus on a much simpler but maybe even more powerful idea: energy efficiency. Because let's be honest, the cleanest and cheapest energy is always the energy you don't have to use in the first place. And this isn't just one thing, right? It's a full-court press on efficiency. You've got programs like PAT, which helps industries cut their energy use. You've got the Ujala program, which has swapped out millions of old, inefficient light bulbs for super-efficient LEDs. And on top of that, new building codes are making our homes and appliances way smarter about how they use power.
Each little piece adds up to this massive collective drop in energy demand. But here's what I find really fascinating. It's not all about shiny new tech. The strategy also actively embraces this timeless indigenous knowledge. Think about practices like rainwater harvesting, which has been used for centuries to manage water, or community-run microgrids. These older ideas are being woven together with modern tech, and they create these incredibly effective and resilient systems, especially in rural areas. It just proves that sometimes the path forward is paved with the wisdom of the past.
And all of this really boils down to one core idea. This isn't just a race to generate more clean kilowatts. It's about building a whole system that's sustainable, that's resilient to shocks, and that's inclusive, making sure that this new energy future benefits every single person and every community.
So, what's the big takeaway here? India's green energy plan isn't some rigid, top-down instruction manual. It's a living, breathing strategy, a rich, complex tapestry. It weaves together the colossal with the community-sized, the futuristic with the traditional. And that leaves us with a really big question, not just for India, but for the whole world. Could this kind of portfolio approach, this blend of everything, be the real blueprint for a truly sustainable planet?